Everybody, this is Matt Campos at Sac City Corvette, and today I'm going to give you a rundown on installing the Big 3 voltage boosting kit from Sac City Corvette. Now what we did is laid out our kit and show you a few tools that you're going to need. We have a long extension with a 10mm socket, 3/8 ratchet, it's a 5/8 wrench, 14 and a 13 wrench. In the kit includes your 2 grounding wires, your long hot lead with a fuse block, the 100 amp fuse in it. It's an HD fuse block. Then you have a second hot lead. This one goes from your battery to your fuse blocks. 13mm nut. These are the 2 battery terminals. Bolt for your head, and 3 self-locking stainless nuts. And a little piece of paper towel. I'll show you how to use that in a little bit. But first thing you want to do when you're installing your Big 3 kit is disconnect your battery so you remove all the power from the car. Then what we did is go ahead and take your long power lead with your HD fuse block and slip it over this factory stud right here and use one of those self-locking stainless nuts and go ahead and put that on there. Just let it hang straight down like we did and go ahead and tighten that down. Take your long power lead and just kind of run it over towards the alternator. You don't really have to run it neatly yet, so we'll do it step by step. What we did is set it over the top of your heat shield, and if you have a little pry bar or a screwdriver, you can pull this little pin out right here. Just pop it up like that. Then that releases this. Now this little tab, you want to kind of push that tab down, slide your hot wire lead back behind this, then you can go ahead and reinstall this pin. Then what we did, we understand that every vehicle is different. This engine is an LS7. It's a C5 Corvette with an LS7. So if you have maybe a fast intake or even a carburetor intake on your LS motor, this kit will still work for you. Just run it the way you feel best for your vehicle. What we did on ours, we ran it down the back side of the fuel rail and over the top of the manifold and over the top towards the alternator. Then you want to go over to your alternator and with your 13mm wrench, go ahead and pull this rubber boot back off your power lead on the alternator and remove this 13mm nut. Slip your power lead on it. If you have an engine similar to ours, you're going to have to bend a little U shape in it to send it back over the top. Go ahead and slip your power lead over that stud. Snug the nut down. And what you're going to need to do is also on the bottom of this rubber thing, cut a little notch so it'll fit back over this stud nicely without leaving it exposed. Next step is take your factory wire, hot wire that came out of your battery, and pull out your factory terminals. Just a little wiggling, a little prying, this will pop right out of this rubber right here. Then press one of the new included terminals into your engine, or I'm sorry, into your battery, and go ahead and screw that in, snug it down with a 5/8 wrench. Once you have that snugged down, you can run your hot lead from the HD fuse block, this bottom one, run it down around, slip it over this stud. Then take the smaller lead, this one comes from the battery over to your fuse box on the vehicle and goes right on your hot lead stud. Now this one we ran straight down, kind of underneath, ran back over the top and put it right on the stud. Then we include the nut, you just slip it right over the stud, put the nut on it, and once you have everything kind of in place and it's ran neatly, go ahead and put the lock washer and the nut over the terminal and snug that down. Then go ahead and snug your nut that's on the fuse box down. And that's it for installing the hot side. Now for installing the grounding side of the Big 3 kit, go over to the front of the vehicle, take your grounding wire that's labeled engine block to frame, and use this factory stud right here. This is a factory ground. Go ahead and slip the side that's listed frame. Go ahead and slip that over the stud, and you can take one of the stainless nuts and go ahead and slip it over that and just kind of finger tighten it down for now. Then run the wire. We kind of routed ours, you know, like we said, every engine's set up different, especially if aftermarket stuff. We ran ours kind of underneath these hoses, wrapped it around. Then right here, then with the supplied bolt, go ahead and thread it right into the cylinder head. And once you have it routed nicely, go ahead and snug that down and snug your grounding nut down on the front. That's a 10mm socket used for that. Then this is the only wire that's slightly difficult, so I'm going to show you how to do this one. This is the wire that's labeled frame to battery. What you're going to want to do is take the frame side and just kind of bend a little L shape like that, because we're going to be mounting it down on this stud down here. That factory stud right down there. That's a great ground. So what you're going to need to do is take it, after you bend the little L shape, that helps you get it right on the stud so you can slip it just like that. Then take your long extension, your last stainless nut, and your paper towel. This is a little SacCityCorvette tip. Put your paper towel over the top of the socket, this is the 10mm socket, and take your nut and push it in there with the paper towel. That holds it in place. So now it's not going to fall out. That allows you to put the nut onto that little stud down there without removing your battery and your heat shield and all that. So go ahead and thread that on there. And once you have it screwed on a little bit, you can go ahead and pull your paper towel out so it doesn't get stuck down in there on the nut when you snug it down. Then go ahead and snug that down. Then this is when you want to take your factory wiring and pull out your negative terminal, and go ahead and put the supplied terminal that came with the kit. Go ahead and push that in the wiring just like you did on your hot lead, and screw it into your battery, snug it down with the 5/8 wrench. Once you have that done, that gives you a place to install this grounding wire, just like that. And you want to use your star washer and your 14mm nut. Then once you have it all, you kind of just finger tighten it down, get it routed the way you want. So once you have it the way you like it, go ahead and take a 14mm wrench, and snug that down. And that is it for installing the SacCityCorvette's Big 3 grounding hot wire kit. And thanks again for your purchase, and look for a video of us putting this through its test, and you'll see the voltage spike. Thanks again.